Treon and his men will clear the way for the Grey Wardens to descend into the easternmost caverns. Those caverns are still infested by the worst of the Darkspawn. We cannot risk our own troops in there.
Understood, Lord Harald. We should be able to sense the Darkspawn and avoid them once the way is open.
May the Paragons favor you, and the stone catch you if you fall. Come men! Glory awaits!
Balin, you and your men will second the king, clearing the main road.
Don't you think it looks a little cowardly to allow these humans to take our place where the fighting is thickest?
Are you questioning the battle plan?
Of course not. I'm sure your caution is for the glory of us all.
Enough, Balin! Take your men and make ready. Paramount and I need to have words with your sibling.
Good luck, my brother.
Your father has a special mission for you.
In the eastern deep roads, there is a secret door carved into the stone.
The door leads to a thaig, abandoned long ago by your ancestors. The Darkspawn have made it impossible to reach.
My father believed that the shield of the Paragon Aidukan remains in that thaig, under the stones of the central room. Reclaim the shield, and glory will be yours.
Shield of Aidukan would be quite the find.
We've sent 2 scouts ahead to make sure the tunnels are cleared. But be careful. One of the scouts will meet you at the first crossroads you come to. The second will be further in. When you get to the door, use your signet ring to open it. Questions?
Where do we go from there?
The crossroads where you meet the first scout will be the rendezvous point. There you can present the shield to the lords and demonstrate the strength of Aidukan.
May the ancestors watch over you, my child.
Brilliant. So we're off on a fetch quest. How fitting to begin a true RPG. A true RPG among RPGs with a true fetch quest among fetch quests. So, right then. You may have noticed a small break in the recording there. Subtle, I know. But anyway, first things first, actually, before we go any further. I am recording this, actually, at home. And by at home, I mean at my dad's house, back in Northamptonshire. The recording setup at present is far from ideal. My computer quite now is literally set up on the living room coffee table. The microphone is set up on there also, which means that I may sound a little bit more distant than usual, on account of the fact that the microphone is actually quite far from my face. So I apologise in advance for any sort of slight dip in quality as far as sound recording and whatnot is concerned. It's just a symptom of the fact that I'm, not at my usual workstation, and therefore, I've had to improvise a bit. It may be a bit of an issue in episodes going forward, both in this and actually in my other Let's Plays as well, just because I'm taking some time off and I'm actually staying at home back here for quite a while. Not a long time, but a week, possibly. But I thought I'd get some work done, get some recording done, rather than leave you guys hanging. So here we are, in the deep roads. Or what remains of them. The ancient underground highways that we learned that once connected the ancient dwarven cities and kingdoms and stuff. Now left in ruin after having fallen to the Darkspawn. Probably stretches on quite a long way in that direction. Should to think how long it took to build. Again though, I just love it. I think it's great. Orzammar and the Deep Roads, my favourite part of the game. And, don't know what it is. I think the idea of just like massive underground, like, highways basically, because that's what they are, running for hundreds of kilometres under the surface of the earth. It's amazing. It's so cool. Nothing like that in real life. Anyway, nothing quite like that in real life. Anyway, You may also notice brief pauses in the recording from time to time, actually, now I think about it. On account of the fact that I have to pause the recording every now and again, basically just so that I don't lose any, because unfortunately my computer needs a new power supply. This I have learned through a sort of process of elimination, really, basically. I previously thought it was an overheating problem that I used to have, but actually it's a power issue, because my power supply unit in my computer at present is faulty. Doesn't quite work as it should. And needs to be replaced. However, that's easier said than done when you really can't afford to replace it, because these things are not cheap. At least good ones that don't break like the one I have right now aren't cheap. So until I get the money to actually do that, I have to kind of just deal with this problem. Now, basically the issue is, DxTory, unlike something like Fraps, for example, is generally a much better recording program, I find. But it does have one weakness, though, and that weakness is the fact that when your computer crashes, perhaps as the result of a power supply issue, like I quite regularly get, it corrupts completely any recording that you'd just done. So any recorded video for it is just rendered totally useless, and you can't use any of it. So I've had occasions before where I've lost up to like an hour or 2 hours of footage as a result of a computer malfunction. So in order to minimize the damage that this occasionally causes, I will be pausing the recording and starting it again, just to make sure that I don't have to replay too much of the game, and that not too much of the recording is lost when it does inevitably crash. Unfortunately, Dragon Age, for whatever reason, more than any other program on my computer, causes these crashes more than anything else I have, basically. It only ever happens when I'm playing games, basically, is the problem. And for whatever reason, Dragon Age, rather than any particularly high-end games I got, bearing in mind Dragon Age is quite old now, but for some reason Dragon Age, more than any other program on my computer, causes these crashes to happen quite often. I'm lucky to get 40 minutes through this game at a time without my computer just destroying itself. So, yeah, if you notice any pauses in the recording, that is why. So I thought I'd let you guys know, just so we're all clear on that. Anyway, time to head into these caves that are mysteriously here. I don't really know why. We're leaving the deep roads, technically now, and heading into the great, vast expanse of the Underdark. Of course, it's not called the Underdark in this, it's just a bunch of caves, but somewhere out there is the ruined Tig of Iduken, where we shall find the shield of Iduken. Through these caves here, which I have no idea whether or not are man-made, sorry, dwarf-made, or natural. And, well done, Harald, good start.
This is it! Excellent!
What do you have for me? A deep mushroom. Very well. So, we need to head off and meet 2 dwarves, 2 scouts, basically, I believe. One at some crossroads and another one's a bit further along. Oh dear, Harald really cannot hit the broadside of the barrel, can he? He probably needs a buff to dexterity at some point. But it doesn't really matter, terrific amount. Hello. On account of the fact that he's really just here to be a tank, he's not here to actually do serious damage. And that's a better sword than one that I've already got. I'll be taking it, thank you very much. Oh, bear traps. Bane of my existence in this game, I tell you. How bear traps even got down here in the first place, I have to wonder. Pretty sure there aren't bears living this far down under the surface of the earth. Whatever.
You made it, Commander. Did you run afoul of any darkspawn?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
We didn't expect any activity in these tunnels at all. Once I finished scouting the tunnels, I hid here to avoid the darkspawn. Most tunnels are dead ends. The one we want is swarming with those fiends. It's going to be a fight.
Weren't you at the proving yesterday?
I was, indeed. I saw you fight. It was impressive. May today's battles bring us even more glory. I'll take rear guard. Shall we move?
Yes, we shall. Very well. Yeah, so we did see this guy at the proving yesterday because we did go and watch the proving a few hours, I think, before. We had a little honor duel, or honor bout, or whatever the heck that was. We picked a fight with Lord Dace. So, again, look, just I love the environments in this game, particularly the interior ones, like most of the underground bits. It's pretty amazing. Absolutely love it. Don't know what that is over there though. I thought at first it might be daylight, but I think we're a bit far underground for that, so I don't know what it is honestly. Is it Mithril perhaps? It kind of reminds me of that scene from the Mines of Moria. Mithril. Anyway, so we've got a bunch of places we could go off from here. I think most of them are dead ends, but they might have something useful in them, so let's go take a look. That's definitely a dead end. That's completely useless. So yeah, I got some comments on... Is this the way we came? No, it's just different. Got some comments, and by some I mean a heck of a lot, on the fact that Harald here does not have a gigantic bushy beard like the two behind him do. Seems to become a sort of a running joke these days, where people complain about what my characters look like. But back on true form there, Harald, missing all your hits. Very good. But yeah, people were sort of doing the usual sort of, oh no, how can you have a dwarf without a proper beard, and that sort of nonsense. Quite frankly, guys, didn't you realise that like beards, dwarves with big, huge beards down to their belt buckles are like so 2003. Like seriously, dudes. Like now I think about it, I swear to God, like half the dwarves in The Hobbit don't even have gigantic beards. Actually. Now I think about it, but you know, that's kind of irrelevant. This is just how I wanted the character to look. Most, like, half the dwarves you meet in Dragon Age, oh, that's the same. Half the dwarves you meet in Dragon Age don't have beards. Well, you know, they have stubbly type stuff, but they don't have gigantic beards. And I think the gigantic beards in this game look a little goofy anyway, so, you know, it reminds me too much of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That kind of thing. Garden gnomes, you know. Santa Claus, etc, etc. But, you know, I don't really care. Besides, one of my favourite characters in the Dragon Age, I don't know what you'd call it, universe, I guess, happens to be a dwarf without a beard. Varric, I think he's called. Yeah, it's Varric. From Dragon Age 2. And I know that even mentioning the words Dragon Age 2 in a sentence together is considered blasphemy of the highest order by many people, but I didn't have as much of a problem with Dragon Age 2 as a lot of people did. It still wasn't as good as Origins, I'll make that very clear, but I did like quite a few bits of it. One of the things I did like about it was the characters, specifically good old Varric. He's one of my favourite Dragon Age characters, full stop. And he does not have a beard. He doesn't even have that. He doesn't even have stubble on the same level that Harald here does. And yet he's awesome. So there you go. If one of BioWare's main characters can be a dwarf without a beard, then I'm allowed to do it too, as far as I'm concerned. Aha! Darkspawn dagger. I bet it's rubbish, but I'll take it anyway. LOL. You guys ran into a trap, didn't you? Silly sausages. Never mind. The first of many chests, I believe, in this game that we will come across and be unable to open. It'll become a running theme, don't you worry. Anyway, let's press on. I have no real particular desire to dwell on the tutorial too much.
You're here. I thought the Darkspawn had got you for sure.
Case in point. Doesn't even have any hair in his upper lip. There you go. See? Dwarf. Without gigantic beard. It's not so amazingly weird. I was a poet and I didn't even know it. So, I'm not that easy to kill. Not that easy to kill. Oh my god. Arnold Schwarzenegger dwarf. Is that how you address your commander?
Apologies, Commander. There's not a ton of formality down here in the deep roads. We want the tunnel ahead, but there are Darkspawn tracks all over it. Be careful.
I thought these tunnels were mostly abandoned.
Well, abandoned isn't vacant, apparently. Still, 2 months ago we couldn't get within a mile of this place. I'll follow your lead, Commander.
Very well. There we go, and our fourth member, the unnamed scout, as well as Frandl and Ivo, who we already picked up. Excellent. So we are a full party of 4 now. Apparently the Tig is up ahead. That's a definite dead end. Right then. Onwards, ladies and gentle dwarfs. Onwards to the Tig of Iduken. I don't even know what the Tig is actually called. I'm just calling it the Tig of Iduken because the shield of Iduken is there. So, you know. Here we go. More magic mithril lights up in the corner there. Oh, nice finishing moves.
You're in for a world of hurt.
Does say the you know what? We should be micromanaging our rogue a little bit more, honestly. Let's give you the noble's dagger and let's regular dagger. Get some backstabs going on. There we go. Good stuff. Whoa, steady there, Doran. Don't die on me just yet. Wouldn't appreciate that, quite frankly. There we go. Right then. Aha! Now that we have the scout, can you... Oh my god, he actually can. I never bothered to check before. You can open chests. By Jingo. So, what did you have for us, mini-boss? An amethyst. Cool. So yeah, again, scenery kind of awesome, as per usual. Stop gushing over the scenery. It's just damn good though. It really is. The underground sections in particular in this game are probably some of the most impressive bits of it. So it's worth noting when we come across it from time to time.
Looks like someone beat us to the door.
This Darkspawn body is still fresh. Whoever opened the door is most likely still in there.
They had to have an Iduken signet ring to get in.
It could have been stolen. Recently, or generations back.
Or it could be an ambitious cousin out for his own glory.
Or an ambitious brother. Well, see you soon enough.
Understood. Let's move, men.
Yes, somebody has killed these Darkspawn. That's a dwarven mace. Pretty good. And again, observe the game being awesome. Although, you have to wonder how sensible it is to build in a small underground town right next to great big lava vent like that. It just seems a little impractical, I'll say. But then again, mate, I don't know. Maybe it keeps this place warm. Who knows? Anyway, avast.
So glad you could finally join us. We feared you'd gotten eaten by darkspawn. Turns out the shield isn't quite as easy to retrieve as I was led to believe. I wager you know where it is, though. So maybe you tell me where it is, and I won't mutilate your body so bad your father doesn't recognize you.
Ugh, with a mustache that evil, you knew he was up to no good. Gorim, we need to kill these men. The shield's a metaphor, it's in all of this. Yeah, I don't think they'll buy that. Who are you? How did you get in here?
I'm your better, that's who. And as to how I got in, that's a question you'll have to ask the stone after I butcher you. Now where's the shield?
Right, we're pretty convinced. Harald here is pretty convinced he can kill these guys, no problem. So he's not worried about dying. But let's see if we can't find a bit more about why he's here and who sent him before we do cave in his ugly skull and break that hideous nose of his. Tell me how you got in. I'll tell you where the shield is.
Bit for bite, huh? Both of us banking on killing the other and losing nothing by the telling? Very well. One of Prince Trian's men brought me this ring. It opened the door just fine. Now where is the sodding shield?
I whispered to your corpse. No. You thought I'd tell you?
Just kill them, boys. We'll find this shield on our own. Show them no mercy!
Alright then. Get in there, Harald. My son. Right, okay. While you lot are just, generally running distractions, let's get Mr. Unnamed Scout over here to do a bit of backstabbing goodness. Oh, look at that, yeah. Oh god, we've aggroed him now. Get away! Get away, I am just a measly little scout. You don't need to bother me at all. There we go. Backstab! Backstab! There we go. Brilliant, it works every time. Love it. A lot of people waste rogues on archery. I think that's just a terrific waste of resources. They're much better at backstabbing, frankly. Oh, crikey, a ballista. I shall deal with this, friends. Back, foul mercenary. Fantastic. Slaughtered the lot of them. Wouldn't have it any other way. Now then. Okay, more armor and stuff. And again, it's still no better than what we're wearing currently. Ballista bolts.
On it.
Ah. Oh, we could have used that in the fight if we wanted to, but never mind. Let's just grab all this random loot. Right. Imagine a lot of this Let's Play is going to be spent doing what you're seeing right now. So get used to it, is all I'm saying.
Is that really Trian's signet ring?
Yes, my brother has been sloppy this time.
It would have been a major victory to get the shield first, but he showed his hand and failed. The first way we can hurt him is to find that shield ourselves.
Let's move then.
You have your orders, boys.
Now let me continue looting in peace. Gorim. Damn your eyes. Right. Chest.
Going.
Ah. A rune. For enchantment! Though that comes much later. Anyway. Right, let's go get the shield. I believe this is the place we want. Yes, it is. The Tiger Chamber. Let's venture forth, man.
This should be easy enough.
We hope. Don't speak too soon there, Harald.
room. How do we get the shield?
I'll figure it out.
You two, see if you can spot anything.
Nothing if not supremely self-confident, Harold.
It seems some of these tiles are different from the others.
Indeed. I wasn't that tricky to figure out. Best puzzle ever. Gives the old Skyrim Nordic Barrow puzzles a run for their money, truly. There was an indentation here that seems to match the Idukan signet ring perfectly. Press your signet ring against the indentation. The lid of the sarcophagus slides away, revealing a small hollow that contains the shield of Idukan. Shield has been pitted and scarred by the claws of countless darkspawn, but the ancient seal of House Idukan can still be clearly seen. Requires 222 strength, blah blah blah. We can't wear it anyway because it's a quest item type thing, so...
That's it. We've got it.
Doesn't look like much.
The skill of our crafters has come far since then. But still, the shield of Idukan.
Just a symbol, that's all.
If it helps rally the troops, it's a good thing.
Precisely. So, where's the rendezvous point?
Back in the direction we came from, at the crossroads.
To the crossroads.
Brilliant.
Did you hear that?
Yep.
There'll be more of
Crikey.
those mercenaries. Or
No.
darkspawn.
I was gonna say, guys, you're a bit behind the times, aren't you, though?
Ready.
That backstabbing going on. Don't think I'll bother to micromanage my backstabbing rogues that much when I'm just dealing with random mooks like these, but against little bosses and mini bosses and stuff like that, it's probably worth doing, honestly, to minimise the amount of pain we have to go through to get rid of these guys. But that said, if he's going to make it easy for me, it'd be rude not to, really. Awesome. Ah, blasting damn it, knew it had to happen at some point. How on earth you hide a gigantic bear trap like that in the middle of a stone floor? I'm sure Harald will never, ever, ever figure out, but never mind. Let's return to the crossroads. Okay. Oh. Get a move on, Gorim, honestly. None of us managed to walk over that on the way through. How did you manage to do it on the way back? I don't know. Good soundtrack this game as well, by the way. I feel like it's worth mentioning, actually. Honestly. Sometimes overlooked, but yeah, it does have a damn good soundtrack. By Inon Zur, by the way. Who, unless I am very gravely mistaken, composed the soundtrack for Fallout 3 and Game of Thrones, I think. Might be wrong about the second one. I don't think I am, but I might be wrong about the second one. But yeah, very, very talented composer. And Dragon Age Origins' soundtrack is just classic, it really is. I do have the soundtrack, actually. But,
really scheming against us. This would be the perfect place for an ambush. We've got the shield, and we're all alone out here.
Keep your wits about you, then.
Of course.
What's that you're muttering about?
Family business.
Uh-huh. All right, then.
What? I was just saying, I actually have the soundtrack because it comes with the Ultimate Edition on Steam of Dragon Age Origins. Yes. Clearly, something's afoot. Just don't know what. Did I just do a U-turn there? I bloody well did, didn't I? Well done, Dave. God. My poor sense of direction is should be well known to you by now, viewers, but in case it need again be said, my sense of direction is awful, and you're gonna have to get used to it. It's bad enough on a good day, I mean, but when I'm trying to record as well and commentate on all that gubbins, oh dear. Okay, really, I am beginning to lose track now. I think we're going the right way, but... Gorham, again, really? My god, man. Holding up the whole damn war right now, come on.
By the stone, it's Trian.
It must have been a darkspawn attack.
This doesn't look like Darkspawn. No bites, no scratches, no mutilation.
Let's oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think we've gotten on to what's actually going on by now. Harald is not stupid. And, Trian being dead right now can really only mean one thing, considering it wasn't Darkspawn that killed him. Oh dear. Balin outplayed me. Yes, he did.
Your brother?
Someone's coming.
Hurry, Father, before it's too...
By all the ancestors, what has happened here?
It seems we weren't fast enough. Balin was right.
My son, tell me this isn't what it looks like.
We just got here a moment ago. Yeah. I think we're still slightly in shock ourselves.
Just long enough to slay Trian.
My lord is innocent.
Sir Gorham, your loyalty makes you a useless witness. It falls to others to tell the story. You, Scout, what happened here?
Trian and his men were here early. It seems they'd done battle with the Darkspawn. Lord Iduken came up to them all friendly-like, but when we got close, he ordered us to attack.
That's a lie.
Then we shall discover the truth.
Frandlin Ivo, you are a good and noble man. Did the scout speak the truth?
He did, my lord. It was terrible. Prince Trian didn't stand a chance. Afterward, my lord stripped his signet ring.
You treacherous bastard! Silence, Gorham! Do you have anything else to say, my son?
How can you not say this is a setup? My god.
I want to believe that. I really do.
Bind him. He will be judged before the assembly. To Orzammar.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, ladies and gentlemen. Harald has been thoroughly screwed over.
Please.
Yes, sir.
My lord.
Ah. Hello. Also, before we go any further, just a moment, Garim, I want to level up before I forget. Because people will yell at me if I don't. I know this to be true, because I've seen other Let's Plays of Dragon Age where that was the case. Okay, well, it looks like... Yeah, you Harald, you poor bastard, you definitely need the dexterity bonus there, because just you're missing everything at the minute. I know he does have his old shield defense ability active, but still... He's not particularly good at smacking things at the minute, and he really ought to be. And talent-wise, I think I'll go with shield balance. Yeah, they'll negate the attack penalty while using shield defense, so let's go with that. There we go. Anyway, back to the actual plot, story.
I would have come sooner had they allowed it. How are you?
Why has the assembly not sent for me yet? I don't think we're going to go with this one, because I don't honestly think Harald mourns much for Trian. He really didn't like him that much. At all, in fact. Why has the assembly not sent for me yet?
The assembly isn't going to call for you. Balin has taken Trian's place in the assembly. He introduced a motion to condemn you immediately, and it easily passed. He had fully half the assembly ready to vote on something completely against tradition and justice. He must have been making deals and alliances for months, if not years.
Balin will be king when my father dies.
I'm afraid so. Some of the lords, especially Harald, are suspicious of Balin's instant rise to power. They are rallying, but far too slowly. The assembly has already sentenced both of us.
What's going to happen to you?
My knighthood will be stripped, my name torn from my family records. But I will be allowed to attempt some sort of life on the surface. Lord Harald moved for a similar exile for you, but Balin's supporters overwhelmed him. You are to be sealed in the deep roads to fight Darkspawn until you are overwhelmed and killed.
Cowards weren't strong enough to kill me themselves.
That may have been Balin's first mistake. Lord Harald gave me access to see you so I could tell you this. Duncan and the Grey Wardens are still in the deep roads, in tunnels connected to those you are to be left in. If you survive long enough to find the Grey Wardens, you may be able to escape with Duncan.
Grey Wardens seemed good men for humans.
There are worse ways for a warrior to live than fighting the Darkspawn with such allies. If you can find them, I'm sure you can join them and escape the deep roads.
Only Darkspawn between me and freedom, then.
Balin underestimated you, much as we underestimated him. I begged to go with you and fight at your side, but Balin's pet nobles wouldn't hear of it.
Yeah, we do wish he was going with us, actually. That's quite true. Harald probably does wish that Goran was coming with him, but never mind. I wish you were going to be at my side as well.
I'm going to try to go to Denerim, the human capital. If you make it out, find me.
Count on it.
Our time is up. May the Paragons guide your sword and the stone hold you up.
Same to you, my friend.
I will always be your man, my Lord Iduken.
They are ready for you now. Here is the prisoner, Lord Harald.
Having been found guilty of fratricide by the Assembly of Orzammar, you are hereby sentenced to exile and death. Your name is from this point forward stripped from the records. You are no longer a person, nor a memory. You are to be cast into the deep roads with only sword and shield. dare to redeem your life by fighting the enemies of Orzammar until your death. Do you have anything to say before the sentence is carried out?
Balin will destroy you just as he did me.
I understand your anger. You should have been allowed to defend yourself. Had I the power to stop this, I would have. Look me in the eye and tell me you didn't do this. For your father's sake.
I didn't kill Trian.
I believe you. That means Balin planned this from the start. Believe me, I will spend the rest of my days making sure Balin does not profit by his deeds. Your father asked me to give these to you. This sword and shield are of fine dwarven make. Strike a blow at our enemies.
How is my father? We'll be quite concerned, I think, actually, because we appear to have a pretty good relationship with our father up until this point. Everything seems to indicate that, so I imagine Harald would be fairly concerned about how A, how his father's doing, and B, just how his father is, viewing him, basically. This may be the last time he sees him, after all, so...
He is old, and this tragedy has hit him hard. He will rest better now, though, knowing the truth.
Tell my father I went to a warrior's death.
I will. Open the doors and let the condemned walk through. May the stone accept you when you fall.